It's time for the most unlikely thing for this mouth to ever do it all. It's time to stand up for Donald J. Trump. You know, every argument has a counter argument. Notwithstanding the issues of that man being a corrupt, fraudulent creep, who should never have been running as a candidate in the first place, let alone elected, who's now been outed as a Russian asset, or in other words, KGB asset, in other words, a traitor, who you can't trust as far as you can throw, who is not particularly likable, particularly if you're female, and all round kind of annoying. We're going to put into perspective some other things, though, so that there's balance maybe in the discussion about Mr. Trump. Okay, notwithstanding that he is an ideological demagogue that knows how to play the field successfully with enormous amounts of propaganda, dishonesty, and rhetoric, he is also, even as noticed by what appear to be Democrats, this face is an Australian face. We don't know all your shit. Anyway, they appear to be Democrats, and they appear to be noticing that the man has probably got old-timers. Okay? Right. So let's put that into perspective, okay? The Democrats don't like him because he's Mr. Fascist dickhead who's sitting on the presidential throne acting like he's a king, and everything's going pear-shaped and the courts are having to make orders to say fuck you to both of them, and to a whole lot of them. Thank you, courts, for that. Okay? Right? Alright? Throwing insults like he's a demented old man sounds like rhetoric to go with the distaste of that situation. Unfortunately, though, at the age of 78, you might have to argue that it's true. It might be a genuine concern. And it seems like there's been a bit of thinking going on, whatever thinking is these days, about what's a better position for that man. I mean, you know, other than a nursing home, or court-martialed and shot for treason, or in prison for fraud, maybe, even if it was house arrest. It could be any one of those things. But he'd be, you know, when his last stand on stage, you know, as they arrest him and take him away, what's the last speech that Donald Trump could give? And you know what it seems like he would be really good at? Something he's never done before. True emotional honesty. So that guy has put on the airs and graces of impassioned speech and the demagogue type of stuff, and appealed as marketing and gameplay and strategy to people, which is how the mega cult got formed in part. But he hasn't actually expressed true emotional honesty, and if he did, do you ever get this strange feeling that if he was being truly emotional honest to himself, that he wouldn't have any of those tech bro billionaires in the Oval Office, that he wouldn't be signing executive orders for them, that maybe, just maybe, he would be thinking what life was like at, say, about 1950, and doing the old man's back in 19 it was like this and that, and now this tech shift's gone too far. If he comprehended what the technology was, what the intentions behind it were, he would probably be opposed. He would probably be like the Christian targeted individual community. He turns around and says, there's a beast machine attacking them. Okay? Now, don't get it wrong. There is an AI transhuman agenda that people of multiple faiths and no faith at all have been exposed to. Okay? It's a head fuck. Okay? You don't necessarily have to say it's the fucking devil, though. So we're gonna put that there. The point is that he might say that it's diabolical, though. If he, considering he's the kind of guy who knows the people that are building the fucking shit, someone of his age would not comprehend the technology, okay? But if it was put to him that that's what they were going to use it for, he might harken back to the fact that he likes to believe he's a Christian, just despite, no compassion, and go, can see why those people are calling it the beast machine or the mark of the beast. They might be able to see. He might be able to see that. If he knew what it was, then he would probably be opposed to it. And if he gave a speech on stage, just as he was being wheeled away to the nursing home, taken in handcuffs to be court-martialed with his KGB crap, whatever else, and he just stood there and said, this is what America was like for Donald Trump when he was growing up, without all that weird technology and this and that and that. He doesn't understand the woke because, not because, well, if it is because he hates people, then he needs to say that, because that would then be honest, wouldn't it? But he doesn't if he doesn't believe that that techno crap with the incels and all the rest is the way forward, then why start executive orders? Because he gets told by the industrialists, back scratching, mutual back scratching, and he's Mr. Catchphrase make a deal guy. So that means he made a deal with Russia basically in the 80s to get some money to prop his businesses up. And in response he'd do some kind of wrangling with NATO or something like that. There was someone posted a video about it. It has stuff going back far back to the 80s with Trump saying he'd pull out of NATO, and just happens to coincide with him coming back from Russia. Anyway, so you take away all of those deal-making, game-playing, political, billionaire mumbo-jumbo shit, and you go, who's the real Donald Trump? It's not the guy on Twitter. It's not the guy in the Oval Office. It's not a monster. It's not the devil. It's not the Antichrist. It's not Orange Jesus. It's not even the Oompa Loompa. It's a decrepit old man, not long for this world, who's accustomed to doing project after project after project and constantly being on the go, and doesn't yet fully comprehend that he is losing his wherewithal, that he's not, that old grade Meg just ain't what she used to be, okay? He's in that stage, okay? And he wants to go out with a bang. When he goes out, he wants to make sure everyone knows about it. It's a big fucking deal. And, because he was the guy with the big deals, so make his death a big deal too. On the other hand, he probably wants to leave a good legacy. And this is going to sound really strange. He probably wants to leave a good legacy where he will be remembered as one of the greats that he keeps marketing himself to be. He's the greatest, he's the best, he's this and that. And people go, he's a fucking narcissistic prick. He obviously isn't the greatest or the best. He's full of shit, and everyone can see it. Wouldn't he actually be the greatest or the best if he brought down the AI transhuman agenda? wouldn't be the greatest and the best. He'd be teamed up with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Governor. And they both sat there and they said, well, you know what? This Terminator fucking shit ain't no fucking good. You fucking kill bots that you got fucking running around in different countries with your drone warfare and this and that. Your fucking AI fucking crap. Your fucking weird techno mumbo fucking jumbo that's been going on. Your Project Echelons and whatever the fuck else you're into. No. It's not okay to put cybernetic implants in fucking soldiers. It's not okay to roboticize the organic. It is not okay to dehumanize the human. It is not okay to do those things. You know, someone like Trump spends his whole career in a state of Asura-like earthiness, obsessed with materialism, accumulation of wealth, just in case Hitler comes back, or the Great Depression, like his parents taught him. And he got so good at accumulating, and so good at accumulating at the expense of others, that he even has, apparently, a penthouse dripping in gold. And he could rip the walls off of his house, pay back the national debt, but instead he had another billionaire go into opium with a chainsaw. Which means his priorities are all wrong. Because he's a man who's been playing his social roles. The one role that Donald Trump never played was Donald Trump. If Donald Trump played the role of Donald Trump in public today, just as he was taken away in handcuffs, then maybe it's not just Musk that you'll be yelling at. It'll be David Sachs. It'll be Mark Zuckerberg. It'll be Mark Cuban. It'll be, who else? Eric Schmidt. It'll be any number of names that are unknown. There'll be names of people in other countries like China and Russia, NATO countries where that type of technology is developed. You'll be yelling at all of them. You'll have all the tech bros, billionaires or millionaires, all lined up and told, where's your humanity material, cacao? When did you go from being a scientist to a mysticist? Neil deGrasse Tyson. When did science become scientism? When did that start? Was it when they decided that smoking marijuana or watching The Matrix meant it would make it for a valid scientific hypothesis? The physicists have gone into, and the technologists have gone into total projection mode. Okay, they're not doing real science anymore. It's been going on for a while. They're just projecting their mathematics onto mathematics onto mathematics, and we've gone beyond genuine bona fide material measurements and straight into woo. And it's become concerning and telling, particularly when some of that woo is associated with a military-industrial complex that has been putting shit on people. Okay, don't forget that internationally, the major world powers would like to roll out the cyborgs divisions, as in a bunch of guys running around with computer chips in their heads, of their military by 2030. They'll have fully functioning ones by them. It's already the case. They've got killbots and drones. Okay? If you want to live next door to the fucking Terminator, okay, go right ahead. But if the Terminator doesn't want to live next door to you because he got used by his employer and he wants to be your friend And maybe it's a national security risk for, say, don't know, some foreign operatives to interfere with a mobile tower to fuck with the device in the first place, then maybe, just maybe, the military-industrial complex is at fault. And maybe if someone like Donald Trump in his swan song got up on fucking stage and was emotionally honest about it and said, that's not fucking Christian, and you're right, that Episcopalian bishop was right. They were correct, absolutely correct. If you are adopting a Christian position, once you take away all the evil fucking sexist, goddamn fucking racist fucking filth and curse work that you'll find in the Bible and just get back to nuts and bolts what Christians actually believe before they become biblically indoctrinated, which is Jesus was a nice guy, and if you're hungry, he gave you food, and if you're sick, he gave you medicine. Look, we don't give a fuck if your superhero is. If that's his fucking wisdom, that's fine. Still the other crap we'll worry about, okay? Okay? And if that man's superhero in truth, then why isn't he listening to him? Good question. Maybe one day he'll get on stage and answer it, and then be taken away in handcuffs to be court-martialed will be a fucking stupid KGB asset or whatever.